Hey guys, today I've got the tutorial on a really neat effect called Coast by Cheerio703 or 703, whichever way you want to say it. Now in this particular effect you have two sandwich cards or two helper cards, and you put them aside. You have a card selected. The card is then lost into the center, but it magically appears in between the two helper cards. But then there's a kicker ending in which the back of the selected card changes color. So it's a really nice effect, very to the point, and hopefully that's what this tutorial will be as well. So let's get straight into it. So what you'll need are two helper cards, in my case the two black queens, as he uses in the performance, and they'll need to have the same coloured back design as the rest of the pack. Then you'll also need your force card, which of course will be the spectator's selection, and this needs to have a different coloured back design, preferably one that contrasts quite a bit with the back design of the rest of the cards. Now if you want to remove the risk of flashing that you have two of the same kind of card, you can remove the duplicate of the force card from the pack before you start the trick and just place it in your pocket or wherever you want to keep it out of sight. So once you've got everything I've shown you here, the force card and the two helper cards, and of course your pack of cards, you're ready to begin. So you need to place the force card fourth from the top, so you have three indifferent cards on top of it, and you can show the two helper cards to the spectator. Then you're ready to begin. So you get a pinky break beneath the top card and you perform a standard sandwich load. So you place the two helper cards on top, maintaining the break. You lift up at the break, so all three cards, peel off the top queen, place it to the bottom just like so, and then square up against your hand and put these three cards aside, keeping them nice and square. Then you need to riffle force the force card, which is now in the third position from the top. So you swing cut about half of the pack into your other hand, and as you swing cut off about half of the remainder of the pack, you maintain a pinky break right here. You don't want the break to be too deep, you just want a little bit of flesh from your little finger to be in the break right there. Then you can swing cut off however much you want from the rest of the pack, just so long as you maintain that initial break. Now you need to riffle force the card. So I'm sure if you search riffle force tutorial on YouTube, you'll find a bunch of great tutorials. So once you learn how to riffle force the card, just do that so they go out stop somewhere and you lift up at the break and cut it back to the top. Now you need to perform a triple lift, so you can do a pinky count if you need to get your break, and flip over the top three cards. Then if you want, you can get the spectator to sign this card right here. Now of course you don't want to flash the cards beneath it, so if you want them to sign it, all you need to do is just hold out your hand and they can scribble their signature across the face. Then you can flip these cards back over, and you need to set the top card into the center. Now this top card is acting as a cover card for the force card, so when you square up, what you need to do is control the force card to the bottom. So with your thumb on the short edge closest to you, you can square up the card in the center and very discreetly riffle up until you have two cards under your thumb. You don't want to riffle overly much, just a tiny little bit once you've squared up the card to get two cards under your thumb. Now you maintain that thumb break and you double undercut to the bottom. So you split off about half of the pack from the bottom of the pack, cut it to the top, maintaining your break, and then you cut at that break the rest of the cards to the top. And now you should have your force card on the bottom. Now comes probably the most difficult move in the whole trick, the gambler's cop. So you'll need to do a pinky pull down on the bottom card and transfer it to a thumb break. Now you act as if you're squaring up the cards by sliding backwards and forwards, but as you slide back, you're going to pull down on that bottom card with your little finger, and then as you slide forwards again, you leave that card behind, tilt your hand away from the spectator and set the pack aside. So from their angle they should see something like this, so it looks fairly natural and they shouldn't be able to see the card in your hand. Now that you've got the card copped in your hand, you pick up these three cards on the table and you show there's a card in the middle. You place this card into the very base of your thumb and hold it in between there and your index finger, you set the 2 helper cards aside, and you pull this card backwards until it's square with the force card. Once they're square, you can do a Stuart Gordon turnover and place it back into your hand. So it really does look like the selection has just come out from magically appearing in between the 2 helper cards. You pick these back up again, place the 2 cards in between, and then just flip them over. And this is a really nice image to reinforce the fact that the selection really does have the same coloured back design as all of the other cards. So you flip it over and take out these 2 cards, do a pinky pull down on the bottom card, and you're going to separate them, so you'll put, in my case, the Queen of Spades in between, just like so. So it goes in between while the selection goes on the bottom, square up, and then you have a position which should look something like this. Once you have this position, you transfer it to Biddle Grip in your right hand, peel off the top card, placing it fairly low in your hand, peel off the next card on top of it, outjogging it slightly, and place these 2 back-to-back cards just slightly more outjogged than this central card. Now you're going to change the colour of this card, and how you do this is create a break between these 2 cards right here, so the selection and in my case the Queen of Spades, and you're going to pull down with your index finger to pull down this card. Now of course you can't just do it straight away like that, so if you want you can shake like this to change the colour of the card, or probably the best way to do it is the way that it's done in the performance, where you come over with your right hand and you can pull up on the corner of the helper card right here to make a break, and then use your left index finger as you move your hand over to push down that card, and that's a really nice cover to change the card, and also helps a lot if you can't get the break up here in between the selection and the helper card. So once you've done this, you pinch these 2 cards in the center and you move your left index finger up here once more. Then you can push back that card until it becomes square up here, and then pull out the selection and show it to the spectator, and show it's really one card and it's miraculously changed to have a completely different back design. Now to clean up, you pull out the bottom queen, set it on top and do another gambler's cop just like so, transfer it to a thumb break, slide back, slide forwards, and you can hand out the queens for inspection as well, and just ditch this card in your pocket or somewhere like that. So that's the trick. I'll try and do a quick overview if I have enough time, and then that will be the tutorial done as always. So your force card is 4th from the top. You take your 2 helper cards, show them to the spectator, and do a standard sandwich load with the top card, just like this. Set the 3 cards aside, swing cut about half the pack and maintain a pinky break as you cut off the rest. Riffle force to this break, so you riffle down the side, wherever they call stop you cut to the break, and then perform a triple lift to display the force card. They can sign it if they want. Flip those 3 cards back over and set the top card into the center. As you square up, get a thumb break beneath the top 2 cards and double undercut them to the bottom. Perform a gambler's cop, so pinky pull down, transfer it to a thumb break, slide back and forwards and set the deck aside. Take out this card from in between and slide it backwards, square them up, and then Stuart Gordon turnover just like so. Place the 2 cards in between, flip them over, and then do a pinky pull down, insert one of the helper cards into the middle, square up, peel off the top card, the next card on top, and these 2 cards on top. If you need to, you can pull up right here, and then you slide with your left index finger downwards, just like this. Separate these 2 cards by pushing back and pulling forwards, pull it out, show it to the spectator, and if you need to, you can clean up just like so. So that's the trick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all again next time.